Hello and welcome back to the Department of Reinvention. In today's video I will be showing you an upcycle of a mid-century style chest of drawers. Now these aren't original mid-century drawers, I'm pretty sure they are a modern reproduction, maybe 10-20 years old. It's had a lot of use and it's got a little bit of water damage on top and a few scuffs and marks all around it, so it needs a good cleanup. I'll be upcycling this one in a slightly different style to what I've done before, so stick around and see what I do with it. The first step is to remove that bracket at the back of the chest of drawers. Now, I believe a mirror used to be attached to the back of this, but that's gone AWOL, so the bracket is coming off. And then it's time to strip off the old varnish from the top and the sides of this chest of drawers. Again, using the just regular Wix paint stripper for this one and letting it sit for a good hour and then giving it a second coat. And then scraping it off using a scraper. I went in with the rotary sander with a 120 grit to get rid of any remaining bits of varnish. And then giving it a second pass with 240 grit sandpaper just to make sure the surface is nice and smooth. I wasn't a fan of these sort of wooden borders around the drawers, so I decided to chisel them off and remove the old nails and the pins. I then used some filler to fill up any holes left by those little pins. And then with the flat sander, sanded that nice and smooth. I then used some Zinsser bin primer, which is a really great stain and odour blocker. The top coat is a pink deluxe gloss finish paint, and I went in with 2 coats with a gloss roller. There were still some stains left on the wood that had been stripped, so I went in with a rag and some oxalic acid, and that just cleans up any stains left on the wood. Using Photoshop, I designed the writing that I wanted to go on the front of the chest of drawers, and then I transferred that design onto the front. You might notice some of the camera work is a bit out of focus or the camera swinging. My tripod broke at the start of this project and I didn't have the opportunity to get a new one, so my camera is hanging from the top of a ladder for a lot of this video, so I do apologise for the less than great quality camera work, but I will be getting a tripod for the next project, so don't worry about getting motion sickness from the next video. I use Signwriter's enamel paint for the actual writing on the chest of drawers, as it's got a really consistent colour to it and has a really nice glossy finish. Sainsbury's are not sponsoring this video, to be very clear, but hey, if they want to get involved, my email is in the description. And here I demonstrate why it's a good idea to have a plastic bag underneath your pot of paint. Any spillages and mistakes can easily be removed with some white spirit afterwards. I stripped down both the top and the sides of the wood of this chest of drawers, as well as the legs, and they were treated with some Osmo oil. Unfortunately, some of the edges of this piece have been damaged over time, so I decided to fill in any holes and paint all of the edges of this piece in the pink that matches the writing, as well as framing the writing with a nice pink border. When using Osmo oil, I always use either a lint-free cloth or a sponge, a very clean sponge, because you have to go in very thin layers, because if you go on too thickly with it, it doesn't dry properly and you end up with this horrible sticky mess. So it's best to do a couple of thin layers and make sure you remove any excess with a lint-free cloth. I believe the wood used on this piece is teak, and you can see the Osmo oil really brings out the grain and the really beautiful colour of the wood. I decided I wanted to add some little extra detail just to bring out the edges of the writing, so I went in with some white signwriter paint. I didn't like the original handles and I didn't think they would go with the new design, so I bought some cone-shaped wooden handles and painted them so they blended in with the writing. And there you have it, there's the finished piece. I've never done sign writing on an upcycling piece before, but it was a lot of fun. I think I might do something similar in the future. As usual, I will put links to all the products used in the description below.